traveling and you've had a lot of wonderful things going on in your life. What's new in your world?
Thank you so much for everything you said. You're so kind. Well, my husband and I, we were up in Virginia and we got to see my daughter and our new grandbaby. And so that was very exciting. And of course, the mom and everybody. But so that was fun. It was great to be able to walk in the woods with all the beautiful colored leaves. And we were up in the DC area, and that's actually where my husband and I started our married life. So it always has fond memories. So.
That's a beautiful area. I have family there as well, and every time I visit, there's so much to see, especially in Virginia. It's such a large state.
Yeah, that's funny considering I'm a Texan, but okay.
I guess it's all relative, right? It all depends.
You are from New Jersey, right?
Exactly.
That's hysterical. But anyway, yeah, Virginia just has so much beautiful history. Actually, the 13 colonies, I can't get enough. And if did you ever go to Williamsburg in Virginia?
I have, a long, long time ago.
I can't get enough of Williamsburg. I love Williamsburg. I actually have a costume, and I've probably been 4 or 5 times because there's so much to learn. And one time I decided I wanted to go when most people aren't there, and I put on my costume that I had purchased there, and people thought I worked there, and I would go, oh, and because I'd been so many times, I go, oh, if you go down this street and then you go up 2 houses, you'll be able to find the silversmith.
A local expert from Texas. I love it. Diann, I see behind you, you've got your latest book. I know there's another one coming out, but Rise, A Girl's Struggle for More was #1 new release on Amazon. Tell us a little bit about that. As we are on the corner bookstore, we've got a great guest backstage, but I want to hear about this brilliant piece of work that you have.
Oh, thank you. I feel so honored that it made Amazon's hot list, and it continues to do very well. And it's a book based historical fiction. My very first young adult book to write is based on my grandma Ruby. And I wrote it because I wanted people to know that every child that's ever born has a beautiful gift to give, and for them to discover that gift and be the person they really are meant to be inside, and even if it takes 10 or 20 years. And so my grandmother's story and how she was able to be 1904 and end up being a businesswoman in her struggle to get there and defy odds of the women that they had to, be born into that particular time of history is a beautiful story. And if she can do it, then, we all can have determination to do as well. So.
Thanks for sharing that. And we all love strong role models like your grandmother and like you.
Oh, thank you.
We've got a comment. Yes, you are. And your daughters are also very blessed as well. So I know Rachel, she's true delight, always connecting me with people as well. So thank you, Rachel. We've got a comment from Stephen Ceruni. I hope I said that right. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for watching. So nice. And we also have a comment from Michael Goldstein. Thank you for watching, Michael. So, Diann, I want to bring out our guest, Bracha, but before we do, because you are such an incredible, profound writer and author, the Corner Bookstore, why is this important to authors? Why should they want to be part of this show?
Sure. This gives authors an opportunity to get the word out, the message. You've worked very hard to write this book, to publish the book, but that's just the very beginning. It is so hard with so many beautiful books out in the world to get your message across. So by being on the Corner Bookstore, we give you an opportunity to share your message and get your work out there. And all you authors out there, please let us know that you would like to be on our show, because you will be very, very happy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Diann. So our guest today her name is Bracha Goetz, and I actually had the privilege of interviewing her already, and I was just so impressed with her. She's written over 40 books. Can you imagine? And
Oh,
she's
she's so
also,
lucky.
she's like, I think she has a pen in her hand right now. I'm not sure. She's at her computer typing. But she's also a great storyteller like you, and I just love her energy. So let's bring her out. Welcome to the program, Bracha Goetz. Nice to see you.
Great to be back. Excuse me. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to meet Diann too.
Oh,
Wonderful.
thank you. Thank you. Well, the covers to your books are just fantastic, much less the stories themselves. So it's exciting to have you.
Thank you.
It really is. And one thing I just want to mention, I had connected you guys with somebody who's really fantastic. His name is Chris Woodworth, and he does voiceovers. He's from the UK. And the reason I bring it up is, and you two can speak to this more than I can, but you, as a writer, you can actually then take your genius and put it into another form and make it animated, right?
Correct.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of exciting. So, Bracha, I'd love for you to share with our audience who possibly didn't see the other show. Hard to believe, right? But they didn't see the other show. If you could share a little bit about your background and how and why you have this incredible passion for writing and sharing stories.
Oh, I mean, I have a very wild story. I don't know. I went to Harvard. I went to Harvard searching for wisdom, actually. I, I, something was missing from my wonderful life. It was a great life, but I didn't know what was missing. So I went searching, and I had an awesome time at Harvard, but I didn't find the meaning to life that I was searching for, which I searched into many religions as well. And let's see, after Harvard, I went to medical school. I was studying to be a psychiatrist. But the interesting thing is that even though I looked successful on the outside, within, I was becoming more and more miserable. And the symptoms of that was that I had food addictions. It was fluctuating between binge eating and crazy dieting, like extreme dieting or binge eating. So I was not eating according to my body's hunger at all. I was eating I was eating from an emptiness within. And eventually what happened is the summer between my first and second year of medical school, I had a 6-week break, and I went to Israel, and I started to learn about my own heritage, which I really didn't know that much about. And I found the wisdom that fit inside my soul. And from that point on, I never had that emptiness, the same emptiness. And I noticed soon after that I didn't have the food addictions anymore. I didn't know what one thing had to do with the other. And so when I found my old letters and my diaries and journals that I kept through the years, I began to see the thread that went through my life. And from that, I saw why I developed the food addictions, how I was able to heal through actually nourishing my starving soul. That's how I call it. And so now I spread the word about how everybody can fill their souls, because addictions of all types are widespread. And well, yeah, that's what my memoir, Searching for God in the Garbage, is about, my story. And all my other books, the 40 children's books, are about how to help souls shine from the very beginning, so they don't have to go through all the suffering, so that children can learn how to nourish their souls early on in life. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Powerful.
Hearing it again the second time, it just leaves me with chills. And thank you so much for your honesty and your candor. So before we go into the books, obviously there are many people who suffer with food addictions or relationships with food that maybe are not the most healthy. So knowing that their journey has to begin somewhere, what advice or direction can you give them based on your own experience?
Yes, the the most important thing, it's really simple. It's about gratitude. We need to fill our souls with gratitude. That's what fills us up. Now, how can we do that on a practical level? Let's say you're eating. This is a really simple thing. Don't pick up the next spoonful. Don't even begin filling your fork full of food until you've completely swallowed what's in your mouth. In other words, don't just be stuffing your face. You know how we person can mindlessly eat a bag of potato chips. The whole bag gets finished and you're not left with a feeling of gratitude. No, you're left feeling miserable, like it's gone, you didn't even notice it. So this is mindful gratitude. Before you pick up your next forkful or even prepare it, enjoy, savor what's in your mouth, because the pleasure lasts this long and that's it. So keep it in, and when you do this, you will be sitting there chewing. This does taste good. Wow, I'm grateful for this food. This is an interesting, mindful, wonderful experience. It changes you, and you can take from that experience into the rest of your life. In other words, chew everything more slowly, enjoy it, savor it. It changes your whole life. From this experience, you can expand outward. So the food was designed to fill us up physically and spiritually. That's the whole thing. Like this apple, this wonderful green apple, it's got this like tart taste which we can enjoy, and when we enjoy it, it was designed for our physical and spiritual pleasure, to uplift us and fill us with gratitude. That's I was talking before about the pleasure ladder. This is the lowest level of pleasure. And the reason why we overeat, oh my gosh, this is so important. We overeat because we want the pleasure that we experience to keep lasting. But if we learn about more lasting pleasures that we can bring into our lives, then we don't have to just keep stuffing the food into our mouth. We can fill our lives with an abundance of other pleasures. Addictions come from a sense of scarcity, of aloneness, of estrangement. Instead, bring in more pleasure into our lives. That's the way to overcome addictions.
Wow, brilliant. I love that. Thank you. So on my way here to the studio, I decided to stop and get two soft pretzels, which did I need two? Did I need one? Did I need any? So my hand's in the bag. I've got the little cheese which we know is complete chemicals. And of course, as I'm eating, the cheese whiz dumps on my lap. Driving cheese whiz everywhere. And my hand's still in the bag, eating. I wasn't enjoying it. I just kept shoving the food in my mouth. So, and now I hate myself for it. So there it is. Diann?
No, don't hate yourself. That's the whole thing. No. When we hate ourselves, that's when people just do more of the bad stuff. You know what I mean? No. So this is it. We have been fooled. Okay, the junk food was designed to be delicious and addictive, and the natural foods were designed to be delicious and nutritious. Totally different. So, as I explained, this is my newest book, Let's Stay Healthy. I actually, because my background is in science and I love science. Even I was at the Graduate School of Public Health while I was an undergraduate at Harvard. I was studying at the medical school. I took courses, and at the Graduate School of Public Health, because this fascinates me. And I want to explain to children early on, we don't have to hate ourselves, because they are working hard to give us food that's addictive. And why are they addictive? You know what happens when we eat the stuff that's really junk? First of all, it's hard to call it junk food because it's not really food. Food is what maintains our bodies, and it helps us to grow healthfully. It doesn't do that. It's real junk. So, I mean, we would not water a plant with soda. We would not do that to a plant. It would die immediately. With us, it takes much longer. That doesn't happen as readily. But what happens to our body when we eat the junk food? The junk food is condensed fat and sugar and salt that is not found in natural foods. We can't find that. They put in an unusual amount and they have extracted from it the proteins, the water, the fiber, all the things we need. And so it gets absorbed very quickly and not in the slow absorption way that foods were meant to be absorbed. So basically, in the labs, they design the food. They take out the good stuff and put in the bad stuff and make it addictive. Why is it addictive? Our bodies eat this, and I explain in here that our blood vessels actually swell when we eat the food that is not good for us. That's why what causes disease we've determined now is inflammation. So our bodies in our blood vessels inflame. This is why they're screaming, "Help! What are you giving me?" Just like when we get a sore, a cut, and our blood vessels, they swell up in order for the white blood cells, they come marching in to help us with our cut and heal the cut. When we eat this food, which is actually poisonous, that's really what it is. It's a slow poison. But when we eat this stuff, our blood vessels go, "What are you doing to me? Help!" And it extracts the good stuff from our bones, from our bodies. It takes out the nutrients we need in order to absorb it. It can't even absorb it otherwise. And so that is how it messes up our bodies over time. And that's why, like, type 2 diabetes is rampant now in children. Children weren't getting this before. It's so sad. So we really need to explain to children in a joyful way that they can understand why it's so important to choose the natural, healthy foods. That's the way we were designed to be, to uplift our bodies and our souls with gratitude when we experience all the natural foods that were designed for our pleasure. Yeah.
I love that analogy about watering a plant with soda. I mean, that's pretty spot on. You can see that. So, Diann, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to say, wow, you're amazing. You've studied so much. You're so intelligent. And I am so grateful that you found yourself in writing these books to not just help children, but to help parents, help all of us. I have a feeling your books are really ageless, that everyone could learn from them. The healthy one is very important to me, and I almost feel like it should be in all schools. And I would really recommend that you find out how you can get those into the school libraries, and we can chat a little bit offline about that. But very, 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 very powerful. I'm so excited that you're on the show.
Thank you so much. And I got to tell you, the secret about picture books is besides the children that are getting the messages, the parents reading the books to the children, and the grandparents or the teachers, they're all getting the messages too. It's kind of a secret way to get the message in from early on, like all the way up, like you said, ageless. Exactly.
Yes. And I love the fact that you use the word shine, because I have an extension of my newsletter, and it's called Shine, because I really want everyone to realize they have a moment to shine in different ways with their talents. And that's what I do. So I was really happy to see your tagline about shine. So Dr. Jacalyn, you do that. You make people shine.
Oh, well, thank you. But Diann, I have to say, a lot of the people I've met are through you. So I'm an extension of you, I guess. We're all sending our light out into the world, which I think is a wonderful thing. So
I think the angels connect us, actually. Connectors connect connectors. So.
Yeah. You know what's interesting also, just a quick sideline. Some people don't want you to be connected with their network. They don't want to share the people in their network. And other people like you are just like, yes, let me introduce you. What do you think that's about? Diann?
I feel they're afraid they may lose and not be in control and be the shining star within their network. But in actually in actuality, I think you grow as a human being the more you share your network, because you're all learning from each other, because everyone has different types of gifts and talents. But that's sort of my little 2 cents worth.
I appreciate that, Bracha.
Beautiful. It's coming from the same place as the addictions.
Yes.
It's coming from a sense of fear and scarcity. Why don't people share? When we recognize that there's an abundance of pleasure for us, then we're not afraid to share. But where does that come from? It usually comes from trauma in childhood. You know, if a person has suffered from abuse or neglect, then they have a sense of scarcity. They need to hold on to everything they've got. So that's why I explain that in order for our souls to shine, we need to nourish our hungry souls. But if a person has been through trauma, they also generally need therapeutic intervention as well to get rid of the layers of garbage that are covering their shining soul. Because our souls are still as resilient as ever, always. But we need to nourish them. And then if we've had a life of trauma, especially from early childhood, then we need help. We need support to remove the blockages that are occluding us from shining. Yeah.
I love that. And I feel like by just the interaction between the two of you, it seems like the community of authors is very open to supporting each other and promoting each other's work. Is that so?
I think, again, it depends on the people, who they are. You know what I mean? What they've been through in their lives. So if you come from a place of abundance, then you are so open to share. I think and I think it's true in any profession. You know, wherever you are, it depends. If your soul is shining, you want to help other souls to shine. Yeah.
Beautifully stated. Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Diann, anything you want to add?
Yeah, beautifully stated. I know some people that are translators as well as authors, and who translate books, and that'd be like the last thing they would do is share.
Wow. Gosh.
So it's definitely depends on it happens everywhere, right? And the class teachers, everything. So
I guess it's just the authors that I've met on the show seem to be so forthcoming. So well, we are going to take a break, and we're going to hear from the lovely Diann Floyd Boehm, and we will be right back after this break. So do stay with us.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diann Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diann Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diann's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diann's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diann's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diann's delightful books and much more at DiannFloydBoehm.com. Visit DiannFloydBoehm.com. That's DiannFloydBoehm.com.
everyone, and welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and hello to our friends on Business Talk Radio. Our show today is The Corner Bookstore, and I'm here with two brilliant authors, Diann, Floyd, Boehm, my co-host, and our guest, Bracha Goetz. And we've been talking about a lot of subjects of food addictions, early childhood trauma, and how that shows up later in life, authors being supportive of other authors, and actually putting your heart out there, shining your light, and sharing your network with others. So in this next segment, Brock, I would love if you would read from one of your books for us.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's exciting. Let's see.
Yes.
I'll pick this one. I want to be famous. Okay, here we go. You can relate to this. Everybody that's an author, right? I want to be famous, said Seymour one day. Those words grew and grew. They would not go away. It felt like an itch trapped inside his head. It itched him all day and when he went to bed. Those words started tickling him. They kept him up late. I wish I were famous, he said. I can't wait. And then one day, right out of the blue, doing nothing special, his wish did come true. A woman making a video walked slowly by. She caught Seymour singing. No, then he burped. Oh my! Soon it was the funniest video yet. It was posted all over the internet. And Seymour's burp was the best part. Yes, you guessed it. That was just the start. By the next day, he was on TV. Then he became the star of a movie. People wrote books about him. Tons of fan mail was sent. And crowds stood and cheered him wherever he went. The president said, Seymour shall get a parade, and in Seymour's name a special day shall be made. Seymour Day was great. Fireworks blasted. The only problem was none of it lasted. After a short while, his fame started to go. Brand new kids with burps began stealing the show. He was famous no more. Fans were gone. Everyone. Feeling sad, Seymour cried, Wait! This can't be done! But suddenly, nobody noticed what he said. They were tired of his burp, so he sulked in his bed. Seymour stayed in his bed. He did not want to play. Under 6 blankets and quilts, Seymour lay. But from that dark place, something started to shine. Where's this light coming from? Wow, inside me. It's mine. He kicked off one blanket and inched up in bed. He kicked off another. Getting closer, he said. The rest came off in one swoop. He was hot. Now Seymour felt ready. But ready for what? Let's see. Then just at that moment, without Seymour hearing, wait, let me make sure I did this right. Oh no, here we go. Ready to get up and try something new, something he never ever dared to do. He put on a smile, then had a good laugh. He felt really happy without one autograph. Without all that fame, I'm still one great guy. It's hard to believe that, but I'll give it a try. It no longer mattered if everyone knew his name. He was breaking his habit of itching for fame. Then just at that moment, without Seymour hearing, there was a sound much louder than millions cheering. A clap of thunder, burst forth from on high, louder than all applause. Can you guess why? He started breaking his habit of just looking to others, like tons of screaming fans or his two older brothers. Seymour's bright spotlight from inside him shone out. If you see him today, you might hear him shout, "I don't want to be famous. No, I've had enough. Now I see there is more than all that superstar stuff." Bang, bang, pop, pop, countless fireworks blast. And the best part of is, these fireworks last. Seymour's inner light sparkles. Hip, hip, hooray! Now and forevermore, it could be Seymour's day. And I have here, the loudest noise in the universe is the sound of a person breaking a habit. That's from Rabbi Yisrael Salanter. It's an amazing thing. When we break a habit, that's the loudest noise in creation. It's the most gigantic thing. It's the highest level of pleasure, transcendence. It's when we transcend our limitations. That's how gigantic it is to break any kind of habit. I actually have a book about breaking bad habits too. So yes, and so many children can relate to wanting to feel famous. So this is another way for me to get, again, for people's souls to shine, to remind them that everyone's soul can shine. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm on mute. That was fantastic.
Yes, and the way you read it is just you're just pulled into the story. You read it.
Good. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
How did you feel when you were reading it?
Excited. I could feel the emotions along with Seymour. You get the Seymour. He began to see more, see what he was capable of. Yeah.
And Bracha, is that character based on anyone you know, or is it based on you? You, okay.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I thought that was the coolest thing, to be famous when I was a child. That's it. And then I realized, through gaining the rich wisdom, the treasures of wisdom, the ancient wisdom that I was able to put inside my soul, I realized what we have a saying actually in the Talmud: who is rich? Those who are happy with what they have. That a life of success is a life that's filled with gratitude, because everything's meaningless unless we can appreciate it, and so appreciating who we are is one of the most basic things. And again, I have some books, prevention of abuse of children. I have books about that, because if a child, again, if they grow up like that, they don't appreciate themselves. They have to bring more gratitude into their lives. The more they experience gratitude, then they realize, oh, I'm a person that can experience gratitude. I'm worthy, that bringing in the gratitude helps a person to feel that. And then again, it's hard to be able to get there on one's own. They need support. In addition, getting rid of the garbage that's piled on top too, as well. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And, I think you're right. And Dr. Jacalyn, I would love your thoughts on this, but you made me think about something that when I was growing up, I have 5 brothers, and we at first had a small home, and a regular home of the 1950s, I'd say. Daddy worked very, very hard and provided, and Mama worked as well. She was a nurse. But then these new homes were built, 2-story with bricks and everything. And the kids were like, oh, you live on that side of town. You don't have a brick house and all that. And Mama would always say, honey, it's not about what your house is. It's about what's in it, filled with love. And, I grew up and realized, eventually what that saying meant. And of course, eventually we got a bigger home and all that, because, 6 kids growing up in 1 bathroom. Hello. But you're right. That whole thing about it's not what's you could be famous, but you're not happy. You could be rich and you're not happy. But if you grow up with a lot of love, and I mean, you're already blessed, right, Dr. Jacalyn? What do you think?
I definitely agree with that. And I think also at some point in our journey, we have to learn that self-love, that we have to learn that we don't need to be recognized by others. We just need to believe in what it is we have inside here and share that with the world.
Exactly. We don't need that outer spotlight for validation when we have it shining from within. Exactly.
And that's really hard. I love y'all's thoughts on that, because I love your books. I love your books being focused on being who you are, being genuine and loving yourself. And Dr. Jacalyn, what you said is so spot on, because I mean, little kids are getting cell phones now. And I was at a school and the kids are like texting, and they're only in second grade and they're already learning to be mean to each other texting. And I'm just like, oh my stars, how can these kids have turn those cell phones in at the playground and go run around? But I'm not teaching there, so I can't say anything. But I do worry about that.
This has reminded me of one of my books, because it's a very important book. Let's Appreciate Everyone. This is teaching children about those children that have disabilities. So many children now have disability, especially social disabilities. That's another thing that's on the rise. Again, we don't know if diet is part of it. I don't know, but what happens is this book explains to the children, they don't even know, children that don't have that neurodiversity. I mean, everyone's diverse, but children that don't have these particular disabilities, how do I interact? So I want to give this knowledge to the children so they feel more comfortable. One of the main things we talk about in here is that there's a 5-letter word that every child does. I mean, most children do. When you see a child with a visible disability, is you stare. So there's a different 5-letter word that also begins with S. If you smile, in addition to staring, it changes everything. People stare because they're curious, but smile and spread the warmth into the heart of the child with the disability. It changes everything. So I explain, if you meet a child with an invisible disability, they'll usually be sitting by the side. They won't be playing in the games as everybody else. Invite them to join. Show them, go up, and they appreciate that. Even if they don't join, they may not join in the game, but they'll be happy to be asked. It's good for everybody, and it definitely helps the child's soul to shine as well by doing that. And I talk about just practical things. If you meet someone in a wheelchair, sit down next to them so you're on the same level. If you meet someone who's deaf, speak slowly so they can read your lips, and or write them a note, or draw them a picture if you can't write yet. And people that are blind, when you come up to them, introduce yourself. When you're walking away, say, I'm going now. And these are just basic things that make people feel more comfortable interacting. So that's some of the material in the book. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
That's fantastic. Another round of applause for Bracha. Well, we're going to have you back again, because there's still so much more. The shows go by.
Surface.
The shows go by so quickly. So, Bracha, what's the best way for people to purchase your books, and how can people contact you?
Oh, yeah. All my books are on Amazon. I have an Amazon author page, but the newest thing is that my children are grown up. My youngest son and his wife, they created a new website where you could buy the books on Amazon from their website. And there's a lot of fun things there, and videos and all kinds of other things. So I say, go to the Goetz bookshop to find all my books. Yeah, almost all my books are up there. A few we're still working on that have to go up there, but almost all of them are there. So yeah, that's and you can contact me through the website too. And I love helping people to get published too. So if I think I get calls about twice a week, people wanting to learn about how to publish their books, and I'm always happy to help people. So thank you. Thank you for this great opportunity, both of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I love your energy. Don't I feel like yelling, doing jumping jacks? I don't know. This feels so.
And that's another basic pleasure, movement. That's what I talk about in here too. Let's stay healthy. Let's get moving. When a person is sitting and overeating, just put on the music and you start dancing or stretching and you just want to move. And that's it. And guess what happens? The bag of potato chips stops calling your name. As soon as you put on the music, it works. Yeah.
Great words of wisdom, Bracha. Thank you so much for leaving us with that. I did put your contact information on all the social media platforms. And for people listening on the radio, go to www.goetz, Goetz, bookshop, shop.com. Thank you so much for being here. We'll look forward to having you back again.
Yes, thank you so much. Yay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I love having people who just have such a wonderful message, and she's such a great storyteller, and her energy is contagious.
Absolutely. And you're spot on. She is a wonderful storyteller, and her books really are for everyone. I mean, I learned so much just from her talking about being healthy. So it's like, I think I need to buy that book.
Can you imagine you and she doing a story together, telling a story together? That would be amazing, because you both have such incredible skills in that area. I don't know. I'm thinking something might happen there. I don't know.
There you go.
Diann, I did put your information on the websites as well. I'm going to spotlight you. What's the best way to get in touch with you, and who should contact you?
Sure. The best way to get in touch with me is my website, DiannFloydBoehm.com, DiannFloydBoehm.com. And anyone who wants to know more about my books, would like me to come visit their schools, have an author day. I do it live and Zoom now. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. If you have questions on how to be an author, just give me a jingling and I'll be there for you.
Thank you.
Jacalyn.
You have news for me, you said?
Yes, I forgot to tell you. Ta-da!
Oh, yes. Tell us.
I just arrived. So this is my very first short story to be published with a group of authors. 'Tis the Season. Christmas Anthology 2021, and Texas Sisters Press puts it together. And there is a story there for everybody, and it's for adults. They're adult stories. So the story I have in here, actually, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm the very first one.
Wow, look at that.
It's King's first Christmas, and it's about a doggy and his journey. And he discovers who the real king is. But in the meantime, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, sweet story. But I mean, there are some funny stories in here. And if you like Comic-Con and things like that, there are stories for you. I just had so much fun working with these different authors. So if you go to Texas Sister Press, you can get it. So I wanted to share that with you, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you so much, Diann. I'm going to put that in the comments. It's www.texassisterpress.com. These two wonderful women. They're both authors themselves, and I've asked them each to come be on our show. But they started publishing as well, and so if you're wanting to be an indie author, you might check them out. I'm very, very impressed with them. So, and actually my new children's book that's coming out December 1st, pre-order starts real soon, is through Texas Sister Press. So now I have two publishers. Wow. Wow. That's a show in and of itself, Diann. I know. I'm so excited. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you. People would like to know, I'm sure, do you ever sleep? Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm like that commercial about the kid with the battery, the little toy. It's like, I woke up and I'm like,
And I mean, by 6 o'clock, dinner. And then 8 o'clock, I got to be in bed. Around 4 a.m.
Well, you wait.
Wait,
Yeah,
around 4 a.m. My mother started waking me up. She's in heaven, everybody. And then she's like throwing me ideas. I have to write them all down and go back to sleep.
So that's when you get a lot of your insights in the wee early hours of the morning.
Yes. So I try to write if I can, between 6 and 8 in the morning. So.
Well, you certainly have accomplished so much in the time that I've known you. It's mind-boggling.
Thank you. I'm not sure he's accomplished as much as you. I'm just in awe. So we both get to admire each other. I'm so happy.
Which is nice, isn't it, though? It's nice to be able to support each other. I wish more people did that for one another.
And you see your books right there.
Oh, yes, there it is. There's my book. You know, I told you.
Everybody should order your book, and you really should spotlight yourself and talk about this because, you know, it's one of these books that you can pick up and read again, certain sections, and it just inspires you.
Well, thank you.
You know, it's not a book that you just read and then you put it away. It's a book to keep out. So I keep it on my shelf because I'm like, I need a Dr. Jacalyn thought for the day.
Thank you, Diann. You know what's kind of funny, and we have a show right after, so I have to be mindful, is, we have to go, is that I've never even been interviewed about my book. I really don't even talk about it very much, but I've never actually done an interview about the book.
Okay, we got to do that.
All right, we'll get that down. So,
you go rush to your next show.
Yes, friends, our next show is coming up. It's called the Mallorca Connection with my co-host Roland Friedel, who's joining us from Mallorca. So we'll see you again shortly. Diann, we'll see you tomorrow. Tell us about our guest tomorrow. Your friend, tell us.
You caught me off guard. I'm so excited about thinking about doing your own show.
So we have fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure, and we have your friend June Potts who's coming on, and she specializes in information about menopause and how to. Yes. Yeah, tell us a little more about that.
So, if anyone ever wanted to know, am I ever going to get past menopause, or how to prepare for it and stay a little healthier, be healthier through it, this woman is going to enlighten all of us. And I was a person who went through menopause very early after my last miscarriage. And so I would have been really nice to have known everything that she is going to be talking to us about. So I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to that as well. That's information that's all women need, really. And the people in our immediate vicinity and people we work with, they need to know about it as well. So tune in tomorrow. That's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, noon Eastern Standard Time, and that's 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on Fashion, Fitness, Travel, and Leisure. Take care. Bye-bye.